Welcome to my channel, Things You Didn't Know You Don't Know. This is a simple understanding of the Venezuela and Guyana conflict, and the recent referendum that caused quite a stir between the two. Over half of Venezuela's eligible voters, more than 10.4 million out of 20.7 million, have spoken up in a non-binding referendum showing overwhelming support to claim an oil-rich border region administered by neighboring Guyana. This whopping yes vote, taken with a grain of salt, standing at 95%, was announced by National Electoral Council President Elvis Amoroso, countering initial doubts over the turnout. This referendum's outcome arrives amidst the International Court of Justice's warning against any annexation of Essequibo, a region historically governed by Guyana. This disputed territory forms over two-thirds of Guyana's land and homes about 125,000 of its 800,000 citizens. Guyana maintains that the boundaries were determined back in 1899 by an arbitration panel, stemming from its British colonial past, officially declared in 1831, then ended in 1966 after Guyana's independence, while Venezuela has long laid claim to Essequibo. Guyana's president, Mohamed Irfan Ali, reassured his nation, affirming continuous efforts to safeguard the country's borders and the populace's security in the upcoming times. The referendum covered 5 critical questions, including the creation of a new state called Guyana Essequibo, offering Venezuelan citizenship and identity cards to the region's inhabitants, and integrating the new state into Venezuela's territory. This referendum came following warnings from the International Court of Justice against any actions altering the status quo in the region. Concerns arose from Venezuela's apparent measures toward acquiring control over the disputed territory, including the construction of an airstrip for developmental purposes. Essequibo, an area larger than England or Greece, boasts rich mineral reserves like gold, diamonds, tungsten, iron and more, and with open access to the Atlantic, where ExxonMobil discovered significant oil deposits in May of 2015. This discovery attracted Venezuela's attention. Guyana upholds the 1899 Paris arbitration ruling for border demarcation, highlighting Venezuela's earlier acceptance and subsequent rejection of this decision in 1962. This dispute is complex, rooted in history and mineral wealth, and has drawn international attention, impacting the lives and futures of many. Guyana has always feared that the referendum could be a pretext for a land grab. President Nicolas Maduro, who announced intentions to take over the region, including granting Venezuelan nationality to more Essequibo residents, the possibility of military action looms, raising concerns among neighboring nations. Guyana lacks the military strength to counter Venezuela, relying on support from regional powers like Brazil and potentially the U.S. Brazil's stance under Lula remains uncertain, while the U.S. balances concerns about intervention with its aim for democratic reform in Venezuela. For the U.S., reinstating sanctions on Venezuela, especially in the oil sector, could be a response, impacting global oil markets and potentially affecting Biden's diplomatic efforts. It's a complex situation, with geopolitical and economic ramifications at play. On December 1, 2023, the International Court of Justice, ICJ, has warned against any unilateral actions by Venezuela concerning Essequibo, but Venezuela contends the ICJ lacks authority in this matter. However, concerns remain over Venezuela's motives, with suspicions that these actions might be politically motivated. There are parallels drawn between these events and global conflicts, with cautionary notes against allowing an annexation scenario similar to that in Ukraine within the Western Hemisphere. So, what do you think? Your thoughts are seriously valuable. Jump into the chat, hit that subscribe button, and let's rally to shed light on these global stories that need our attention and support.